Hello, it's Dane Blaze, back with a weather video today for the first time. So, as you can see, as we head into Scotland, it's going to remain fairly chilly tonight. The highest of temperatures will be in Plymouth and London, where it will be 9 degrees, so quite mild start to the night, but as we head into morning time, it's going to be extremely cold. For parts of Scotland, it's going to be reaching below freezing, -1. So it's going to be a cold night. Chance for some frost in the morning and some icy patches in Scotland. So do be careful. London is going to remain up to 5 degrees, so it'll be a little bit chilly, but not as chilly as it should be. With Plymouth, it's going to be quite a decent weather. Now, as we head into the early hours of the morning, you'll notice that at 6 in the morning, the temperatures are going to be fairly low. Plymouth still keeping that 6 degrees, but London goes down to 2. -2 for parts of Glasgow, but most places will remain freezing. Now, as we head into the morning, that cold air starts to clear up for parts of London, Plymouth, Cardiff, East Midlands, and West Midlands. And as we head later into the afternoon, around 3 o'clock, Plymouth could see 9 degrees with London 8, so not as touch as it was tonight. But it will be a bit crisp in Scotland with some little freezing conditions. But as we head into the hours of Thursday morning, well, it'll be an extremely wider picture. So it's going to remain fairly cold a bit for Scotland, but Plymouth manages in the evening to keep a very mild air, which is coming in now from the Atlantic. Now, temperatures could reach 13 or maybe 14 degrees in some places across the UK. Scotland a little bit colder than it has been, but it's a little bit milder. Now, we bring on to the wind gusts. Going to be quite mild gusts out there for tonight as well. So if you're in Aberdeen, in Glasgow, Stornoway, Belfast, Manchester, London and Plymouth, it's going to remain quite okay. Belfast and Cardiff might be a little bit gusty in some places, but it will be a necessarily dry night. Now, unfortunately, as we head into this evening, Aberdeen will see 31 miles per hour of gusts, and it will edge to 33. So it will be very gusty in Aberdeen tonight, so do stay tuned. It might be gusty, but most of that wind that we have going into tomorrow, around 4 o'clock, that will turn southbound and southwards into Scotland. Now, let's go on to the weather. Now, it's going to be a bit of a mixed momentum of weather. So, there will be a little bit of snow about this evening if you're in Scotland and making the way down the country. But most of us will be a dry night in Plymouth and around London, but there is a chance for some sleet on the snow. Now, that sleet in some places could turn to snow. Now, as we head later on this evening, you'll be pleased to know that as we head into the early hours, it's going to be fairly mild and fairly dry. So it'll be mild weather, and it won't be anything too big tonight, but it will be mostly dry. In Scotland, there is a touch of some snow within Scotland and tiny bits within the country, but it should remain fairly dry. And the country will see some dry conditions as we head into the early hours of tomorrow. Now, as we look over here, though, that brings a bigger picture momentum in to Wednesday, because a weather front starts to push its way in. Now, that weather front starts to push its way in quite heavily, which will bring some rain, some sleet, and some snow over parts of the UK. But that is later on down the line. Now, it will be wind speed average tonight. It'll be quite low, as I have just talked about, but we will see quite a bit of sunshine for the rest of this evening within London, Cardiff, Plymouth, Manchester, Belfast, Glasgow and Aberdeen. Now, parts of the East Midlands won't see some of that sunshine. Some parts of the East Midlands might see a bit of cloud building in, which could be a sign of rain, but it will be fairly dry. And you might need your umbrella in a couple of days, but it will be quite mild.